Good morning. I wanted to follow up on those review copies I sent a while back. I'm sorry that it's been a late follow up. The beginning of school is always crazy for the first few weeks. So, at any rate, I'm in your instructor resource account. I do see that you've loaded some of the other books over the past. You may have seen MindTap and some of the added resources that are available, but I wanted to kind of retouch on it and give you a tour so that you are able to review everything. Um, Within your instructor resource account, you can always add all the I see that you have some things on your account right here, but you can always add all the ancillaries by following this method. I actually entered the ISBN of one of the titles for the intro uh, book that I sent you. So you would actually any author, title, etc. add to the search bar. Then you'll be prompted for the um, the edition that this is. So I did sample this one to you, and I'm going to load it now. So I'm going to say I want Cognero. That's our test generator. So I always want that. And then I want to add MindTap. So I want to show you that. But I'm actually going to add the 2.0 because that is the most up-to-date one. And I'm going to say add to my instructor resource center. So any books that I've sampled to you or that you've used in the past and you want to see what resources are available, if they're not listed here, you would just add so maybe for the Sue book, if you wanted to add MindTap for that, you would just add the ISBN directly into there and then select the resources that you want to load into the homepage. Same with the testing software. If you're not seeing this, you want to add the ISBN and load it into the homepage. And I'm happy to do that for you as well. So at any rate, here's our book, the one I sent you. Again, I think I sent you a few for different courses there. MindTap is right here. I'm going to show you that in a second. We have the instructor companion site and then the Cognero testing software. So I'm going to go into MindTap, and I want to give you an overview of what this is because it is included with the loose leaf version of all of those books that I sent you. I'm just going to say Bernstein demo. I'm going to give a start and end date to it. Students actually get 2 weeks of free access from the start date of the course, so they can get into the course right away, get into the ebook right away without having to rush to the bookstore, wait for financial aid, etc. So I've just done that, and the course pre-populates. There's my course information here. Although I can link the course into Canvas, at which point I wouldn't need this. If you wanted the course to live through Cengage, this is how they would get into the course, and they get the 2 weeks of free access. So now if I go back to my instructor resource center, I see the course that I created down here, and then I can create multiple courses right here as well. If I was creating courses for other books, those would all list right here. So I actually see that there's a demo, an old demo in here that someone perhaps created for you at one time. But I'm going to go back into here and then give you a tour. Again, MindTap comes with all of the loose leaf versions of our book with those ISBNs because those are the least expensive versions. And also because the ebook is housed within MindTap, students have the option of just purchasing MindTap on its own for an even greater reduction in cost. So I'm going to click into my demo, give you a quick tour of what this looks like. If this is something that you want to use for any of these classes, some instructors use this as an added resource. So they'll put everything into practice mode or have us put it into practice mode, and they can just access the resources. There are instructors that use this as a required piece of their course. It's used across campuses all over, in my territory anyway, that includes Cal Poly, Cal State LA, Rio Hondo, etc. So I'm just going to go in here and give you a tour of MindTap. So again, something that could be used as an ancillary or something that can be used as required. Everything that you see is completely customizable. Right here we have what we call the learning path, where we organize everything into chapter modules. Right here we have an at-a-glance gradebook, where as students take assignments within the course, those would populate here. I prefer to not have this on my homepage here because if you go to the bottom here, you actually have a progress app that gives the entire grade book, all the analytics that you could want, all different kinds of reporting is all here. So what I do is you actually go to your name up here, go to course settings, dashboard, and get rid of this, just like that. This I think is just a cleaner look of MindTap, and I don't need to always see that quick at-a-glance gradebook. Again, everything is customizable. This can all flow right into Canvas if you do want to integrate it at either the course levels, so students could click into Canvas MindTap and be taken here, or you can actually link each activity where you would also produce a gradebook column within Canvas for every activity you see. So lots of options. Okay. So I'm going to show you what MindTap looks like. I have two views. This is what we call the learning path view. This is the calendar view. So as instructors populate course availability, or I'm sorry, assignment availability and due dates, students could click on the calendar, go to any given week, and see what is available and or due in that given week. But I'm going to show you the learning path view. Again, we have everything arranged into chapter, and we expand the chapter. Students are, for the most part, going to see the same mapping of activities. So we will have a question your chapter 3 assumptions. So kind of a pre-lecture. What do you think, that sensation and perception really mean? So this is going to be a kind of a low scoring, but something that will get them kind of warmed up in the chapter. We have the chapter 3 ebook preview. So the ebook is housed within each chapter here and then each subchapter. So we have the chapter 3 preview ebook. And then if they open any given subchapter, they're going to see that part of the ebook or the learning objective, let's say, and then a check your mastery of this assignment here. So again, very similar patterns that they're going to be able to expect in each chapter. So a reading, this one has a critical thinking and then a mastery. So depending on what the content of each chapter. That's the chapter, the learning objective sortment. And then we have the chapter 3 summary and then a chapter 3 quiz or a chapter quiz. Again, this is now higher stakes, a chapter quiz. Everything that you do see, if I click my edit tab on now, I can actually hide things. So if there's something I don't want students to see, maybe I don't want them to have any of the quizzes, I can get rid of it altogether. I can hide entire chapters if I don't want them to, if I don't cover a chapter. But here I can edit. So I can maybe say edit, depending on what type of assignment it is, I can edit different options as far as that's where I would get point value changes. If I want them to have multiple attempts at something, if I want students to receive shuffled questions, different students so they can't sit next to each other and see the same uniformity, I can do that here. I can add my available and due dates here as well, where students maybe can't get into something until I've said that they can, and then due dates, etc. And all this stuff can also be edited at in a batch level. So for instance, if I wanted to edit the entire chapter 3, oops, where's my chapter 3? If I wanted to edit my entire chapter 3, I would click here. My batch action would come up where I could set the entire due date for one chapter at the same time. Again, I don't want to get into a lot. This is just a brief overview of what MindTap is. And again, it's different for each of the books that I have sampled you, but similar look and functionality. What a lot of what we do here is we also have the ability to do all the customization for you. So if you were to go through, for instance, chapter 1 and really start to manipulate how you wanted everything to look. So maybe you want the chapter assumptions to be worth 10 points instead of 3. You want something to be open at certain times, and you mapped out the chapter as you prefer it. We can actually do the rest for you with your direction. So there's not, even though it looks like it could be a lot of customization, we have a team here that does complete customization of courses for instructors. You also have the ability to add activities. So through the Add and Create tab, you could actually add, perhaps if there's a YouTube video that you use, all the test banks and homework banks are housed within here. So if there's more that you're looking for, maybe you want to create a unit test or a midterm and how put that within there, you can do that as well. There's an activity builder. Again, other things we can get into later at a later date. If you decide to use this, we have tons of training, including in person and all that good stuff. These are what we call MindTap apps on the side here. Students actually have a career portfolio they can access for free, the full ebook. Students can take notes and highlights within the ebook, and they can also have the ebook read to them. Let me just kind of show you really quickly what that looks like. But right here is the read speaker, or the study hub. I was going to get into that. And then we have a read speaker where students can actually manipulate. They can have the ebook read to them, and that can be manipulated right here. So for instance, if I'm in that ebook and I left click something, I have the ability to highlight portions of the ebook. I can actually take notes as well. I can add a note. Those are automatically stored right on the page here and within the study hub over here. So I'm able to actually click on my study hub. Anything I can bookmark pages, but I can create custom study guides based upon all my notes and highlights, which are actually organized here by chapter. I can print those as well. But the ebook can be read to me right through this tab here, but this is where I can manipulate the speeding or the male or female voice. So again, the ebook is housed right here. But we have lots of different options over here. The we have a mastery training that's built within the MindTap, and you would actually see those in some of the chapters. So if you see a mastery training, again, a lot of information, but I just want to give you this overview. But very, very cool MindTap apps on this side that students can utilize. So and I'm going to leave it at that because I'm in 10 minutes and I don't want to overwhelm you, but I just wanted to show you how to access the resources for the book. And every book that I sent you includes MindTap as far as I know. So if you wanted me to load those MindTaps for you, you can. I can let me know, and I'm happy to do so. Otherwise, keep in touch. Let me know how your review's going of the titles I sent and what other support you can use. Thank you. Have a great day.